Hello, Friday, June 6th, updates, artificial intelligence, our weekly regular updates. As usual, a lot of updates. I thought it's quiet week, but not. So the most recent update is new Gemini 2.5 Pro. The previous one was released in May, and now they released in June. And immediately they updated the leaderboard, and you can see that Gemini now on the first place, both for text and for programming, web development. Also, look at text. You see a lot of models. So red is Gemini, yellow is OpenAI, blue is Claude, right? And there are some other models. And you see the scores go down from 1400 down to about 1300, but they're very close to each other. Now, look at the web development on programming. You see some top models with good scores, and then suddenly it goes all the way down. And these models, 1000, it's average, it's middle. It means that it's not better or worse. So I bolded here the top models, so you can see it is mostly Gemini and Claude, like the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 models. And GPT 4.0, it's like on the 7th place, and it's much lower. So there's a big difference between 1400 and 1200. It's a huge difference in quality of the model. So yeah, if you want to do coding, I guess you either go with the latest Gemini or the latest Claude. So Claude Opus 4 is very expensive, right? And the next Claude 4, where is Claude 4? 3.5. I don't see 4 Sonnet here. Maybe it was not even included. Oh no, here it is. It's on the 4th place. So yeah, so you either use Claude Sonnet 4 or maybe Opus 4 for most difficult, but it's more expensive, or you use Gemini 2.5 Pro, right, the latest one, which is cheaper than Claude. Anyway, so this is the status of the arena. Next is this announcement about this new Gemini 2.5 Pro. And so there were several iterations, and you see that it is better than the previous. It has very high ELO score. It excels for coding. It has thinking budget feature. Pricing remains low. And there was very interesting comparison. So they compared Gemini 2.5 Pro solving a puzzle and compared with Claude Opus 4 and OpenAI, O4 Mini and ChatGPT. What's interesting that OpenAI, which is O4 Mini and ChatGPT, found better solutions. But as they found, actually the way they did it, they run under the hood. They wrote Python code and executed it. So when you're talking to OpenAI, you are talking to an agent which can use tools. For example, it can write Python code and run it to find the solution. So it's not just purely language model. It's agent with tools. Anyway, next, Phonely. This is very interesting example. So what we have here is a system which talks to you on the phone, so it's audio. It answers your question. It answers it without any delay, like really, really fast. And it has 99.2 accuracy. Like how the hell they did this? It's very interesting. So they using not one, but multiple specialized models, and they switch the models on the fly so that the quality of the responses is good because you use specialized model which is targeted for the question you're asking. And it is possible by using MaiTai and Grok. Grok is a chip, and MaiTai is an inference optimization company. So like 3 companies together achieve this. This is absolutely amazing. It beats all the charts. You see, capability to instantly switch between multiple specialized AI models without added latency, right? Next, Mary Meeker. Every year she produces multiple reports on different topics, and this year she created a 340 slides report, which you can read here. It's huge, 340 slides. But the main ideas of this report. So first of all, things are accelerating very fast. There is no plateau, there is no stopping, there is no decrease. They're increasing exponentially. AI grows much, much faster than internet or any other product or service in history. AI is used to predict even future, so people trust AI. And Turing test is passed. It's all already done. So now there are more complex tests. AI is very good with video, images, sound, and so on. Different models are better at different skills. And they were comparing AI versus Google when you use what. And now we have new expensive services. Remember, at first it was free, then it was $20 a month, then $200 a month, now $2,000 a month. And people are paying this because they're getting fast and specialized and good and so on. And the AI now goes into physical world. Like, for example, Robo Taxi is definitely growing very fast. Next, Perplexity Pro. I use Perplexity every day. I love it. And if you open Perplexity Pro, this is from my screen, you see these three icons: search, research, and labs. Research, deep research on any topic, and labs is also advanced. So depending on what you need to do, you can click on one of them. So in Perplexity, you can choose between three modes. I highly recommend Perplexity. People somehow, under the hood, they're using multiple models. For example, they use the latest Claude models. So depending, it's a very good thing. Next, Microsoft Bing Video Creator powered by Sora. Remember Sora by OpenAI? It was announced, and for a long time it was nowhere. Then they released it, and now it actually in Microsoft Bing. You can generate 5-second videos very fast. No. I mean, first 10 videos will be generated very fast. After that, it will be slow generation, but it will still generate it. It's on iOS, Android mobile apps, and desktop and Copilot search coming soon. Okay, next, Joshua Bengio. There are three people. Jeffrey Hinton, of course, from Toronto, and Joshua Bengio from Montreal, and Jan LeCun, who is now in New York, who is Meta, Facebook. So he is absolutely legendary person, and both Jeffrey Hinton and Joshua Bengio, they're very, I wouldn't say scared, but they're warning about dangers of AI. So what he did, he started a non-profit with $30 million in funding. It's called, what is called, Zeroth Law. So it's like a zeroth law of robotics from Isaac Asimov. Well, actually, he had laws 1, 2, 3, but then people added the zeroth one, which is protection of humanity above everything else. So the mission of this LawZero nonprofit is building honest AI systems to detect and block harmful actions from autonomous agents. And the first project, Scientist AI, gauges the risk of deception or danger before agents act. Very interesting. Also remember that Ilya Zutskever, who also created a startup, and he was a student of Jeffrey Hinton. So it looks like all these old-timers think in the same direction. Apple Vision Air project. This is not really AI, although it will have some AI. So these are glasses, this is technical stuff. Another interesting robot which can do high-speed parkour navigation. You really should watch the video to see, like, it's really amazing. Parkour, how people jumps on walls and like. So this now robot can do the same thing and navigate very, very precisely. Next, Sakana AI. So this is Japan. This is self-improving coding agent, and it is open source, right? Researchers from Sakana AI, University of British Columbia, introduced the Darwin Girdle machine, an AI agent that rewrites its own code to get better AI tasks, achieving up to 150% improvement without intervention. So it's kind of Darwinian improvement. It discovers improvements like editing tools, error memory, and peer review capabilities, jump from 20% to 50% on software bench, and from 14 to 30% on another bench. So inspired by Darwinian evolution, tries out changes to its code, keeps what works, and achieves promising mutations for future improvements, and achieve results using different underlying models. So it's not the model, it's the system, how it is used. Andrej Karpathy talks about VO3 from Google. It's a system model which generates video. He is really excited and approving, and talks about the future. High bandwidth, universal appeal becomes easy, direct optimization, and so on. Next, this is shameless promotion of our channel. So this is the channel on YouTube at Lev Selector. We do the seminars every Friday, about 30 minutes. So subscribe. So this is some videos on the channel. And by the way, what we do, this is an experiment. We generate videos for beginners about AI, which are actually generated by AI. So we're using a service called Revit.ai. It is a paid service, so we're paying a monthly fee. But it allows us people really happy. They say that these avatars, these are artificial, they look so human, and because some avatars are dull and annoying, but these people like it. And these are the first videos which we created. How does a neural network work? How do they work? How neural networks are trained? All types of neural networks in 6 minutes. Ideas of transformers, how transformers work. The latest was about fusion. This is type of model used in medical diagnostics. So yeah, that's I think it's a nice experiment. People like those videos. Next, AI writes paper which passes peer review. So this is coming from Intology.ai, and they a model called Zochi. So it completed the research, wrote the paper, and it passed the review, putting it in the top 8% of all submissions to a big conference. And this is the archive link to this paper. It's a company based in San Francisco. Next, Cerebras beats Nvidia at inference speed. So Cerebras is this huge chip, which is 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So 8.5 inches, it's the width of the regular printer piece of paper. So it's a huge chip. In comparison, this is Nvidia Beat 200, so it's much smaller. So they compared one Cerebras chip versus 8 Nvidia chips. And what they found that Cerebras is 2.5 times faster doing inference for a large Llama 4 Maverick model, which is a 400B model. So it's like a real life test. You see, they achieved 2,500 tokens per second output, which is painful even to think about it, how fast it is, and on a big model. So yeah. Anthropic hits 3 billion in annual recurrent revenues, which is good. So they grew in just 5 months from 1 billion to 3 billion. Very fast growth. Next, AI-powered roll-ups. You know, old idea of flipping the houses. You buy the house, you repair it, make it look nice, and then sell it at a premium price. So now people do the same with companies. They buy the company, they improve it using AI, and then they either sell it or just collect the revenue. Ollama Thinking. This is a new feature in Ollama. Ollama is a very good application which allows you to run models locally. And now they have a flag which you can turn on and off. It's like a toggle to to tell it to start thinking. What it is that modern models, they output a lot of reasoning and then they output the actual result. So when you tell Ollama that this is the thinking model, it will do its best to separate the reasoning from the answer. And you will have this clean separation. And this is very important because different model do it in different ways and you need to separate them differently. So Ollama took this on themselves to do it. Okay, next, Manus slides. You know, Manus is a autonomous agent created in China, and now it has a new skill. It may create presentations like slide decks from prompts. And yeah, this is yet another functionality. H company. So this is company which was founded 2 years ago in Paris, also in London. And the founders, former DeepMind scientist and Stanford researcher, and advanced multi-agent solutions to automate complex digital workflows, plan, execute tasks, and solve problems autonomously. And they have their flagship models Rana H and Surfer H. So business process automation, quality assurance, robotic process automation, web-based tasks. So this is targeting corporations, of course. Next, in California, several new legislations were introduced. For example, no Robo Bosses. This is a new act. Or Automated Decision Safety Act and workspace surveillance limits. Yeah, California always like very busy inventing new laws. Some of them were accepted and then reverted back. Klarna. Klarna is a very interesting story. So it's a bank. Well, more it's like it's a financial company which do buy now, pay later. So they finance purchases for people. And they had more than 4,000 people and they have cut it to about 2,000 people. So they fired a lot of people because they substituted them by AI. And the customers didn't like that. Customers didn't like that they cannot get a human on the phone. So now they are reverting this partially. They are starting hiring humans to be able to talk to their customers. They're mostly hiring students in rural areas to pay minimal wage, but still they're humans, not AI. Next, PageIndex in reasoning RAG. Sander, thank you for sending this. This is really interesting. So you know about RAG, which is retrieval augmented generation, and the classical simple RAG is that you have your documents, you split them in pieces, each piece you convert into a vector, so using some sort of embedding model. Then you have a question, you convert your question in vector, then you do similarity search to find vectors in database which are similar to your question vector, and then you use these pieces of text to provide the answer. And this is just a similarity search, and sometimes it's not a good fit. So what people created, it's a different process. You take your documents and you convert them into semantic trees. And then you use those trees for your retrieval augmented generation. So they achieve 98.7% accuracy. Well, the idea is not new, right? People used trees for document search for tens of years. And most recent, of course, with AI, using graph databases for that. But here, what's interesting, it's not a graph database. It's a module which you import and use. So it's on GitHub, it's open source. So it becoming simpler. And listen, usually like a regular RAG is like 50%, 60% accuracy. Here you have 98.7% accuracy. It's absolutely amazing. And it is in GitHub. So this is great progress. Next, can LLMs generate novel research ideas? So people made a competition between humans and AI. The result is that AI can create ideas which are new, which are strange, but they cannot evaluate the ideas correctly, and they tend to be repetitive. So, but if you use a combination, AI generating ideas and then people evaluate and rank them, then you get very good results, much better than humans by themselves or machines by themselves. Or Ollama Thinking again, yeah, so second time. So separates reasoning from output. You set a think, like you do, like set think from the Ollama prompt, or you can do it in the API. And it works with the reasoning models, not all of them, but for example, with Qwen and some others, and get better answers from LLM. This is really interesting YouTube video. I loved it. So the author recommended to add the following short phrases to your prompt. So for example, here's what you add. Ask me clarifying questions until you are 95% confident you can complete the task successfully. So you're telling the LLM to ask you questions until it understands it. Next tip, ask to think like a top expert. So you add this to your question. What would a top 0.1% person in the field think? So you like create a role for the model, and it gets smarter by just adding this one-liner. And last, third one, challenge your perspective. Add this to your prompt. Reframe this in a way that challenges how I see the problem. So you ask LLM to reframe the question. Again, very, very interesting. Highly recommend this video. Very talented, very short, and to the point, useful, practical. Next, open source AI beats commercial offerings. So this is YouTube, which talks about several technologies which are open source or inexpensive, and they beat much bigger models, much more expensive models. Decision flow. So this is very interesting paper. So they achieve 30% performance improvements in decision-making tasks. So this framework sits on top of a large language model to improve structured reasoning and utility-based reasoning approach. Structured decision scenario assign numerical weights to decision factors. So it's a very, very like mechanical approach. You assign numerical weights, apply constraints, calculate scores using simple linear function. Right, you have weights, you can just add them with some coefficients, choose the option with maximum utility. So this decision flow makes single shot decisions rather than learning over time. And the results show that it actually improves the results. Like this simple strategy improves the accuracy in many different areas where they tested it. Next, Microsoft WINA, which is weight-informed neuron activation. I love it. It's so simple, and it's, you see, up to 65% of neurons they remove from the network. So it becomes smaller, faster calculations, keep the accuracy, reduce the energy bill, reduce the dollar bill, whatever. So what they do, weight-informed neuron activation. So judges each neuron's importance by multiplying its activation, which is how loud the neuron is, by the strength of its weights, how much it influences the output. It's kind of like the brain works, right? If something used more, it becomes stronger. Keeps only the neurons with the largest combined impact active for each step, letting the rest nap. So you keep your model, you don't retrain the model, you don't tune the model. You only calculate this multiplication, and you put a threshold to decide which neurons you keep and which neurons you kind of inactivate. And so it uses basically mathematical cleanup, single value decomposition to align weights, ensuring low errors, whatever. Tested on several popular LLMs, Llama 2, Llama 3, can shut off 65% of neurons, reducing compute needs by about 2/3 with only minimal drop of accuracy, outperforms previous methods, substantial cost savings. Yeah, amazing, like beautiful, elegant work. Next, coding with AI, rules and PRDs. PRDs means product requirement documents. So what I'm talking about, you've heard about Cursor. So Cursor is a company, it's actually called Anysphere, it's maker of Cursor, and they raised 900 million at about 10 billion valuation recently, and they finally released the Cursor version 1.0. So this is a very, very famous project. It's an editor, it's a spun-off of Visual Studio Code, and people use AI to code projects in Cursor. So how they do that? You create files, two types of files. First is rule files, which are called MDC files. And I didn't find like a one explanation what MDC means. Different people say different things. But in these MDC files, you have YAML metadata on top, and then you have regular text like markdown content at the bottom in one file. And you create a directory, well, typically it's .cursor rules, where you put multiple these files. So these rules may say, for example, naming convention. So for example, always use snake case, or how frameworks or libraries, which libraries to use, which file folder structures, architectural patterns, and so on. So you create a lot of rules, and then you create product requirements documents. And this is different. This is where you describe for humans and for AI what you're creating, the project. Foundational documents outlining what product or feature should do. PRDs serve as a source of truth for both human and AI. Content of PRDs, introduction, problem statement, solution or feature overview, user stories, feature descriptions, technical requirements, constraints, acceptance criteria, project timeline, technical stack, user flows, and so on. Best practices: use clear sections and headings, write concise, isolated user stories, list explicit acceptance criteria for each feature, keep the PRD accessible to the AI within the project folder. So you keep it with your code in a separate directory which has subdirectories and multiple documents. You can also create additional files, for example, structure of your directories and files. You can do it as a text file or as a YAML file. You create README file, architecture MD file. By the way, MD files, when you look in the viewer, they show like headers which are bigger and bolder. It can show tables, and it can even show diagrams. So for example, you can do mermaid diagram. So here there is example of the code for mermaid diagram. So you type this graph TD, A goes to B, A goes to C, B to D. And then when you look at this MD file in the viewer, you will see the diagram like this. Of course, this is a very simplistic case. You can do much, much more complex diagrams. So your architecture of your project may be all diagrammed, and AI can read and understand that. So I tried to find how different people work. And so this is a very good video, a 3-step AI coding workflow. And the author is very experienced and very smart. So his flow: create a PRD, product requirements document, using a custom Cursor rule that instructs AI to write PRDs suitable for junior developers. Includes clarifying questions with dot notations and so on. So you see, you even use AI to create the PRD documents. Then generate tasks lists, split them in a smaller, like create a hierarchical tree of tasks, main tasks with subtasks in markdown format, and then you execute tasks systematically and update your documentation as you go. Another very good video about Taskmaster. And Taskmaster is a task management system which does absolutely the same thing. You create product requirements document, Taskmaster parses the PRD and generate structured task list. So it splits the big elephant in small pieces and then executes task one by one using your AI code and agent. Each subtask stays within context limit, reducing errors. So they make subtasks so small that model can do it, right? Because model get confused when the tasks are too complex. So this task master knows how to split it into small tasks. and you have control because after each task you make a decision to approve it or not approve it. So these are kind of best practices how people use AI for coding. Next, AI video summarization. This is something I use very often. Some people recommend use services like, for example, Recapio. You have to pay money, but what you do, you paste the YouTube video URL here, and it creates a like nicely structured summary of it. But you can achieve the same result easily. So you can manually copy transcript from YouTube to some model like Claude or Perplexity. So first of all, check that YouTube video has a transcript. Then you copy the transcript, like select it with the mouse, copy, paste it into a plain text file. This is very important, plain text file. Then you ask Claude to make a short summary of attached text, and you paste this plain text file into Claude, and it will do the summary. Even easier approach, Perplexity can actually extract transcripts from YouTube URL. So you don't even have to manually copy paste the transcript. You go into Perplexity, you ask it to make a summary of the video, and you paste the video URL, and it will do the rest. The only thing is sometimes videos don't have a transcript, and then Perplexity will not be able to do it, right? Okay, next, yeah, this is interesting. You know, OpenAI promised to release a hardware device which they want to sell like 100 million copies or whatever. Nobody knows what it is. And the author of this video, he actually asked AI to predict and make pictures of it. So these pictures are not real. This is generated by AI, kind of what it is. And yeah, so this is Jony Ive. This is the main designer who designed iPhone, who designed recent Macs, who designed so many things for Apple. And then he left to start his own company. And now his company was merged into OpenAI. And yeah, we will see probably next year how this design will device will look, but apparently it's AI based like hardware device, but it's not glasses, it's not like wearable, so we don't know what it is. Next, how to negotiate tech contracts. I really liked this article. Here is the link. It's a Medium article. And what he was saying, suppose you're talking to a CEO and he describes what he wants, and you as a technical person start thinking how to do it, and you tell to CEO, oh, okay, so yeah, we definitely can do it. We need to put it on a cloud. We need to have a database, this and that. And what happens, you start talking about these technicalities, the CEO will delegate you to CTO, and CTO will delegate you to the like lead engineer. And you could have just said to CEO, okay, I can do it for you, give me $1 million, done. You got your $1 million and you deliver the project. But instead, you will be delegated down the chain, and then you will talk to some engineers who will squeeze like everything from you and maybe not even sign the contract because they decide they can do it without you. So you should not be technical when talking to high-level managers. Translate the problem, give peace of mind, reduce risk, improve client position, time recovery. So he gives some examples of how you talk to managers so that they will feel good because of your involvement. So basically you're coming to them and you're promising them that you remove some of their headaches without explaining how you will do it. Yeah, so you're a professional painkiller, communication multiplier. Anyway, next, as usual, about jobs. So we're starting June, and these are the cuts, the layoffs. Workers with AI skills command 56% wage premium, up from 25% last year. So you see there is increased money paid for AI skills. New job postings from white collar roles fell down 12.7%. Anthropic CEO predicts that within the next 5 years, 50% of all entry-level jobs will be automated. Well, looking at these numbers, yeah, maybe even more. Elon's launching Tesla self-driving cars. The only secure job is being an entrepreneur. Curiosity, adaptability now outperform career pathing. You know, old life, you plan your career, you get in college, and then you work at the same career for all your life. Now it's not possible, right? So advice is to do singularity sprints. Coming years will feel chaotic, unpredictable, and downright scary at times. So this is coming from Peter Diamandis. Should have given him credit. I will. Yeah, I think it's a good advice. We should become more entrepreneurial. Anyway, this is me as usual, and thank you.